One thing that we always start off with is a reminder of what our objective is for today. I know I've been to workshops where they're kind of like, you go for the day and that's it, right? So you get what you can, you walk away, and that's it. This is the exact opposite. Today is, of course, 6 hours together, but it is the beginning of a partnership. So it's meant to begin a relationship where you know, outside of your agencies or your supervisor, you know that there is an entity, a whole crew of people who are available to you to be resources, to be support, to offer ideas, to offer additional training, all of these things that you need to carry on with your work. And so see this as a beginning rather than an end in itself. That's really, really critical. Una has just joined us. She's a doctoral student at K-State in the MFT program. And so she's one of the lead people on the research team. And in fact, she will be taking my spot in this position of doing presentations beginning the next training. So any of you colleagues or friends who might be taking the next one, you're going to see Una instead of me.
And also, well, I have your message.
Yes.
I just need to make sure everybody has signed in so that you get the credit. So for any of you who have not signed in yet, just sign in.
Has anybody not signed in? We want you certainly to get credit if you're here, right? Okay. Just a little bit about myself, just so you know who I am and what I do. I'm on faculty at K-State. The bulk of my work is with the Home-Based Family Therapy Partnership. Been on since day one, and really involved in working with my research team and developing the products that you'll see. We call them products of purpose because we want you to see them as available resources. And so we market them really heavily with CES directors and clinic directors and therapists via email and website and other places. So they're available to you. And the nice thing is they're already paid for. So you just have to take the opportunity. Bulk of my work is with the project. I also teach an adolescence course to undergrads. It's an upper division course on adolescent development, which I've enjoyed teaching for several years now. And I've taught some of the MFT classes as faculty. I have to take vacations or maternity leave or whatever. I've kind of been present to fill in where needed. And I do lots of supervision, master's students and doctoral students, as well as doctoral students who are trying to become a supervisor. I'll supervise their supervision for master's degree. So that's a lot of fun too. So there are a number of things that I've been doing at K-State. I also have a private practice here in Topeka. The focus of my practice is working with families or individuals or couples who are struggling to manage a chronic condition, chronic medical condition, and working on the family dynamics that impact the ability to manage those conditions, or that are impacted by all of the medical management that's necessary, and the associated financial stresses and emotional stresses that go along with that. So that's me. That's what I do. What's nice about Nancy and I is I have my head more into the theoretics of home-based. She has the practice. It would be great about Una and take my place. She has over 1,600 hours of doing in-home work. So she's going to be an incredible asset to the project. She brings a lot of experience from her work between her master's and her doctorate. So anyway, you'll get to know her along the way. Just some housekeeping things so we're aware. Make sure your cell phones are, they don't have to be off, but just make sure they don't beep. Be sure to pay your invoice if you still have it owed. Make sure you get paid real quick so that you can get your certificate. We'll be hanging on to that until we receive payment. Lunch is going to be next door, so you don't have to go anywhere. They're provided here, the cafe or cafeteria is providing lunch for us today. Okay, before I get to that, you received a bag full of stuff. We're going to highlight stuff as we go along. So even though I'm ignoring it right now, what's in there, we will be describing what's in there and its significance for you. So, our objectives today are to, number one, to introduce the web-based clinical and collaborative partnership, as I already mentioned. How each one of, oh, is that coffee?
It's coffee.
Oh, there you go. Don't burn yourself. Yeah. Maybe I should pause right now for anyone that needs an eye opener. Go ahead, get your coffee, and I'll give Nancy a couple more minutes.
You lost everybody.
Yeah, great. I understand that. Thank you very much for bringing that. That's great.
Makes it all worthwhile.
Let's get back together. If you need to get a refresher, just go ahead, as I said before. Okay, so a few things that we are doing today. We're going to introduce you to the whole partnership and all the various components of it. We're going to review effective approaches addressing the factors uniquely related to home-based family therapy. In your packet, you'll notice, and we'll point it out in just a bit, an article we wrote that really looked at all of the literature today and looked across models to find the common components. That is, each model, what they all repeat that are necessary for doing effective home-based work. We'll learn to construct a conceptual and apply a conceptual bridge between our home-based work and our office-based work and our home-based work. How many during your master's got training in home family therapy? 1, 2? And that's typical in most trades. There's either 1 or 2 or none. So since 06, we've asked that question every single time. We got basically the same kind of response. So the idea is all of us are trained clinicians, right? We're all licensed, ready to go. And many of us have lots of experience doing in-office work. And some of you have a lot of experience in home-based work, but very few of us receive training to do that work. And so that's why This training is meant to provide a foundation, knowing that some of you are coming with hour number 1 still ahead of you for home base, and others of you have been doing it for a long time. So this training is designed to provide a common foundation for all of you, despite the amount of home-based work you have. Does that make sense? So you can imagine the challenge for us. Challenge we're willing to accept because we feel it's important that everyone have a firm footing and a common footing. So as you develop collegial relationships, you all have at least a point of a common point and a common language in order to nurture that relationship. This is Nancy O'Connor.
Hi. Sorry,
You know, she's looking so spry because she got extra sleep.
I left my house an hour and a half from here in 7 and I saw only a few police officers. And every time I went, oh, please God. I don't have time for this. I apologize for being late.
You want to say a little something about yourself?
Sure. Let's see. Well, I appreciate Sierra being able to start without me. And I'll leave. I'm the clinic director at the K-State Family Center. I've been at the university in the Marriage and Family Therapy program. I'm working on my 23rd year there, teaching and supervising the program. I have been involved in home-based probably my entire career as a therapist. When I was in private practice in Junction City after I completed my master's degree, I did some home-based work. And unlike all of you, where there's lots of information about home-based, back in the early 80s, there was very little information about home-based. And I can honestly say that when I was doing that work at that point, visually, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And I had no one to talk to about it. No one. So then I went through to university, and after some time, then we began to do family preservation through the university. We were one of the subcontractors when services first privatized. And I supervised that for 5 years, as well as provided the home-based work. And currently, I supervise another contract that I have with Junction City School District for Smart Start, providing home-based family play therapy. So I've been immersed in home-based work, probably I would say my entire career. I've also have gone through additional trainings in EMDR, so I trained through the military in that a few years ago. I've also gone through the play therapy certificate program in Kansas City, and which has really sort of transformed my work probably in the last 5 or 6 years. I do a different kind of work than I did when I first started out. And another area that I'm involved in the university, which it also informs my work with families especially, is I teach the family mediation course. So I'm part of the conflict resolution program. And so I teach that course and help couples to be able to mediate their issues when they are going through a divorce process. So that's been in the last, I'd say 5 or 6 years that I've started to do that as well, to mediate for the community as well. Through that program, I've had some opportunities to do some international work. 3 years ago, I traveled to Northern Ireland with a group of students in a study abroad program to study the peace and conflict process in Northern Ireland. In March, we were in South Africa setting up a program there, so we'll take students in May
So what we're also going to look at is identifying some of the challenges that are uniquely associated with doing someone's home. You know, how do you create, in essence, how do you create a therapeutic space out of a space that people watch TV, play games, fight, eat, and it has to become a workspace. We're going to talk a bit about those challenges. We're going to explore ways to utilize supervision to support the unique challenges and the unique ways in which you need additional support from someone who's overseeing your cases, but also concerned about you as a person and as a developing professional. And finally, we're going to look at ways to prioritize self-care. Self-care, we're doing a lot of research in that area. We're in the process of third revision on the paper that's going to be done on supervision of self-care. We've got another data set that is that we just analyzed, and we're about ready to begin to write that up. And so we'll be talking a little bit about some of what we're discovering around the issue of self-care. And we'll give you a preview of a new product that will be available for your smartphone or on the web for doing self-care.
So we hope to spend, at least the minimum last 45 minutes on that. I hope we usually spend about the last hour of the day on self-care.
Okay, so we mentioned this begins the partnership. Here are some things that are coming up. Obviously, core training, you're already doing it, but for those colleagues in your agencies who might be interested in attending the core training, these are the dates of the upcoming core trainings. We've got 3 more between now and June, and they'll be in Manhattan. Each one will be in Manhattan. There's a nice advantage of having the training in Manhattan. It is a great place, and they're wonderful hosts. We've got lunch and everything. It's a nice advantage for us to house it in Manhattan because we have caterers, and we have the space designed in such a way that just really facilitates the discussions and all that. And it's nice since most of us live in Manhattan that it's a little bit closer. It also is. And it tends to be
now you're here.
No, to be good. But it tends to be a little more centrally located, especially for those that are out west and it's south central.
Some of the things that we've done over the years in developing this project is really keeping in mind the struggles that a home-based therapist had in terms of workload and how they can use that drive time and how difficult it often is to get away to do trainings and things like that. So we developed a number of things within the project to help the home-based therapist specifically. One of the things that we developed is video conferences. They deal with 3 CUs on ethics, 6 CUs on DSM. With home-based therapy specifically in mind, topics typically come from trainings like this where people offer ideas. The first one is coming up in November. It's an ethics workshop on the ethics of working with victims of child abuse and their families. Okay, so the DSM is typically in the spring, and that topic has yet to be determined. So if there's a particular area that you would really like us to cover, then please let us know, and we certainly will look at developing that as a DSM. And they're all video conferences. There are 8 sites throughout the state that you can go to. The idea was that we would create opportunities where you weren't traveling hopefully more than an hour to get to a site. And it is live. We're present as well through the Manhattan site. It's worked out really well. We're really pleased with how it's gone.
We attempt to create how we're all in the same room today. We attempt to create a virtual table. So, you know, even though we're at different sites, to really imagine ourselves as we're spanning the space, the geographical space, we really come together. And we recognize that if you decide to come to one of those trainings, we recognize that we're colleagues. This is not training of someone who doesn't know stuff. This is sharing and collaborating together. So it's meant to be interactive. And so we bridge that geographical space by asking questions and asking for examples. And we want engagement because it's a lot more fun, a lot more engaging, a lot more interesting, especially if you're watching on the screen, if you're engaged with whoever's on the other side of that screen. So that's
The other part of that is as we looked at how we could offer it in the least expensive way. So for 3 CEUs, it costs $25. So we tried to make sure that things are pretty cost effective. And then that money goes back into developing other products for the project.
This is $25 if you went to Ethics and the 2 DSMs, so $75, and you get what you need a year for your relicensure, plus what you need for the home base. So we're trying to help you to kill as many birds with one stone as possible, or accomplish as much as possible, because less violent. We've also created group training kits. Now, in this case, we've taken the video conference, which when we do it, we tape it, and then we've created a packet. So if your clinic director or your CVS director would like to offer that same conference as an in-house training, for $25, they can train as many people as many times as they want. They take the packet, they have everybody do the free test, they do the training, and they stop it at certain points to engage in conversation and whatnot, and they have the people do the post-test, they send that back to us, we send the certificates. And then they've got the packet. They're only paying once for that packet, they can use it as many times as they want. We've delivered these to all the directors and given them a heads up on that so that they know that they're available, but the more people that know of their availability, the more likely they're going to use them. And that's even more convenient than having to travel to one of the video conference sites. You just do the work. But what's even more important than the distance issue is you form the really great collegial relationships when you're meeting together around the topic and learning together. And so we really, though we like doing the video conferences, we'd like to really emphasize the added benefit of the group training kits.
Another part of the program that we've developed, and again, thinking about the home-based therapists who travel and what can they do with windshield time, is these are all CD learning companions that we developed that you can access. Well, you have some in your bags, the CDs, and then we converted them into MPs as well, so that as you're driving to the grocery store, or if you're driving from client to client, you can access these and you get CDUs for it because you complete a pre and a post test, and we're able to, once you complete the post test, then signals to us that you have completed it, and we send you the certificate and the information that says that you have that receipt. And there's no cost to these; they are available whenever you want on our website. We divided it into 4 categories: therapeutic skills, family issues, self-care, and supervision. Those that are bolded up there are available in both CD and MP3. So you have the play therapy one in your bag, the step family one, family and domestic violence, and the self-care one in your bags as well. Then there's supervision as well. But we tried to look at these. We continue to develop these as we go along, in the hope of, again, making all of these available in the MP3 or CD format. Now, they are CD, they are not DVD.